Hey, how's it going, guys? Welcome to the podcast, Keeping It Real with ER Sports. This is Michelangelo alongside.
Boom.
Today, we'll be talking a little bit about the Los Angeles Clippers and the latest news on them, along with Giannis Antetokounmpo and a little bit of NFL, guys. Here's Boone to start off with it.
Man, the Clippers, I don't know what the hell happened to them. They put all the eggs in a basket. Guaranteed they was going to win all the talk from Paul George and Patrick Beverly during the season, them acquiring Marcus Morris, and then to literally fall apart up 3-1, barely skate by. Up 3-1 again, and completely put up an egg. It's truly, truly just unreal. I mean, we thought they might be overhyped, but I don't think anybody really saw this coming. Getting completely manhandled down the stretch against a young and rigorous Denver team. And now, the conversation is going to be, where do they go from here? Because as we know, Kawhi and Paul have a year left before they can opt out for free agency. But with the way they played, a franchise can't say, hey, I'm going to bring these guys in and make them the key for the franchise. Because let's be clear, that Toronto team was a damn good team, with or without Kawhi. They proved that this year. So how good is Kawhi? Obviously, he's a great player, but is he franchise worthy? Is he worth trading everybody as the Clippers did for him? There's so many questions that have to be answered. And my biggest thing is there's just no heart. No heart to score 0 points in the fourth quarter of a closeout game. You know, it just, and I've been saying this for some time. I told you this last year. I thought Kawhi should have stayed in Toronto, and Toronto had the whole country behind him. He made the decision to go west, and he had everything he wanted. And look, you know, they say be careful what you wish for.
Well, if you ask Max Kellerman, he thought Kawhi Leonard was the next coming to sliced bread. That's all he would talk about, how good this guy was. He was better than LeBron. No one's better than him. He's the best player in the league. Where was he? Where was he game 3, 4, 5? MIA. MIA. I mean, you gotta give it to the Nuggets. They balled out. They definitely balled out. But you know what's crazy? I think back to the summer league when we saw Patrick Beverly and Lou Williams come across LeBron James at those games, and was Patrick Beverly talking all that crap. Walked by LeBron James, shook his hand, and said he was in the zone. He didn't really want to talk to him because he was ready to play right then and there. Come on, Patrick Beverly, get off it. Get off it.
And it's easy to win when you don't have a lot of pressure on you. But when their backs was against the wall, they showed that they couldn't handle it. They can't. It's easy to talk that shit in the summer league and preseason and before the bubble. But now when the pressure was on them, they folded. The whole team folded, including Doc Rivers. Doc Rivers didn't do anything to get them together. You know, I'm fed up with Doc. Again, I'm not a Clippers fan, but Clippers fans got to be fed up with Doc. I keep hearing about how great of a person and coach is. He might be the greatest person in the world. He might be the new Nobel Prize winner this year coming, but guess what? His time's got to be up there. First, it was Blake Griffin, then Chris Paul. I mean, it's been a list of people. Now he's got all these guys. He just can't get it done, man. He can't get it done. Yeah, the way his son is playing, I'm not sure that was the right decision with moving his son. His son might be more of a better contribution to a franchise than he is at this point. Sooner or later, you got to face the facts. Doc definitely can't get it done. And with these guys having another year, I think I will go in a different direction, bring in another coach to see if we can get some fresh ideas, some fresh movement and progress with the team moving forward. But something has to be done. The fourth quarter, midway through the fourth quarter, my main players, who we've got over $300 million probably invested in, they're not producing. I'm pulling them out, and I'm telling them, say, look, you want this or not? I think he's a little bit too much reserved for this. Maybe time has passed him by.
Yeah, Doc reminds me of a good old Marvin Lewis from the NFL with the Bengals. Makes it to the playoffs and never goes anywhere after that. And they keep on hiring him. The sad part about it is Patrick Beverly took less money to stay with the Clippers because he thought they had it all figured out. He left a 3-year, $50 million deal with the Kings to stay with the Clippers. and for it to all come crumbling down. How embarrassing is that? Oh, and that's not even to mention the stuff they were telling. What's his name from for the Blazers? Sorry about that.
Damian Lillard.
Yeah, Damian Lillard had a
and CJ McCollum, correct. Their focus was obviously on the wrong thing. You know, they weren't about Damian Lillard and CJ McCollum. They should have been worried about on making so they can produce, because Damian Lillard produces in crunch time. CJ McCollum produces in crunch time. You know, Carmelo Anthony produces in crunch time. They scored 0 points in a fourth quarter of a closeout game to go to the conference finals. I mean, Jesus, take the wheel. I think I could have got a bucket maybe. They didn't get any. And Kawhi's supposed to be the greatest two-way player on earth. Paul George is supposed to be a dominant player, future Hall of Famer.
And
they scored 0 points.
And then you had Paul George hitting the backboard on 3.
Oh my goodness! You know, I don't know what they played so bad. It would make you think that they point safe. That's literally how bad they played. Because you would think somebody that good cannot play that bad in that moment.
They couldn't buy a bucket.
Unreal. And now, again, moving into next year, they're in deep shit as a franchise because they've traded a lot of high picks. They've got just a lot of eggs in the basket to win, man. And, you know, I guess we'll see. But Steve Ballmer, I mean, I guess at the end of the day, when you're worth $25 billion, one way or another, he'll be okay, whether they win or lose next year. But I'm sure he's not happy with this. And Doc is just annoying. The way his whole post-game press conference, we just didn't get it done. No, you didn't get it done. Your guys didn't get it done. It's frustrating, honestly, watching them as a franchise.
Very frustrating. Lou Williams and Harold. Lou Williams averaged 10 points per game. Harold averaged 11.7. How do they expect to do anything with that?
Wow. And then, I don't know. You know, up 3-1 again, didn't get it done. Denver moves on. Hell of a game by Murray. I'm really looking forward to seeing what Murray does in this series moving forward in the finals. He's a hell of a player. He showed that he didn't care. He wasn't going to back down. And he really showed he was the better player of this series. That's what it comes down to, man. It really does.
Jamal Murray was the first player to score 40 points in 3 different elimination games. How crazy is that?
And this is one fact. The Clippers now have a 50-year conference finals drought.
Wow.
50 years. We're not talking about NBA finals, conference finals. Yeah. You know, I think it's time for Doc to move on. I think Kawhi made a very poor decision going out there, and it's starting to bite him in the ass now. I'm sure the whole country of Canada was happy last night. Maybe bittersweet because I'm sure they're happy memories with the championship, but I'm sure they thought he should have stayed. I did too. He thought he was going to a better situation. I think he thought the grass was greener. He found out that the grass is really artificial turf. Right.
And look how far they came without him.
Yes.
They did real well without him.
Literally, they're on the brink of making the conference finals without him. So, you know, I read earlier today, someone said on another broadcast, he didn't bring a championship to Toronto. He helped Toronto get to a championship, which they was en route to regardless. And they proved that this year without him. Right. It's not like he went there and saved the franchise and got them a title. No, he contributed as much as everybody else on the team did. He just had some last second shots and had a big name. So, of course, he got majority of the attention. But they proved this year that, you know, they're a heck of a team with or without Kawhi Leonard.
Yeah.
Now, maybe he'll go back to San Antonio.
I mean, he may be better off over there. Pop will put him in his place.
Yeah. Moving on to another disaster. Greek the Freak, Giannis. Another one that, again, if you say you're the MVP, you have to deliver. You really do in closing minutes and closing games. Does he need support? Yes, he does. He needs support in Milwaukee, but his performance was lackluster. Down the stretch, he didn't take the big shots. He didn't make the big shots. He didn't make the big rebounds. You look at players to the caliber such as Jordan when he stripped the ball from Karl Malone, which I'm sure even people who didn't see it, because, again, that was before a lot of people had time, but saw it in The Last Dance recently, which was an amazing program. You see Jordan strip the ball from Karl Malone, doing the things that count to win games, to push your team to winning. We've seen Kobe do it with blocks and passes. It has to be done, and Giannis just didn't do it. And it's the second year in a row Giannis has looked subpar in the playoffs. So it comes down to, okay, yes, these guys are young, but how much more time do they need? Because we saw the greats perform at a very young age well. From the Iversons to the Kobe's to Jordans, going all the way back to the Magic Johnson and Larry Birds. Early in their career, they proved in the fourth quarter they could deliver in many ways. Sorry, go ahead.
And this man right now is a favorite to win MVP for the second year in a row.
Oh, unbelievable. Who's voting for him? Doc Rivers?
Man, I don't understand how they keep. I know it's a different subject, but I don't know how they keep stripping LeBron from that title.
It's so many people are more worthy of him. AD is more worthy than Giannis of it.
Yeah,
he is.
That's fair.
I think it comes down to certain players they just don't want to give it to at a certain point in their career. You even look at Jordan. There are many years Jordan should have won MVP more years. Kobe, and they wouldn't give it to them. I don't understand how the voting works. You see it the same thing in NFL. It seems like once you get to a certain caliber, they just don't want to give it to you anymore. I don't know why.
I don't understand it myself. I don't understand it.
I personally think Giannis is going to go somewhere else to play. I guess we'll see. There's some talk of him maybe going out west. I don't know, but I think he needs to play with a much better support cast for him to be able to really get over this hump. So we'll see what the offseason brings. There's some contract issues also with him leaving and being moved around. So I guess we'll see. Also, the marketability from being in Milwaukee is probably not the best. So I'm sure someone like him would rather play in New York, LA, Miami, etc. And then when you're making $100 million, I would want to be on the beach. That's for sure. Milwaukee, great place. I've visited there multiple times, but with $100 million in my pocket, I think I want to be on the beach.
Well, I mean, right now he's looking at a contract worth $253 million. Obviously, the Bucks are going to be able to give him more than anyone else.
Correct.
5-year supermax deal. But does he want to stay? What was the rumor that went by recently with him taking his teammates off of social media, off of Instagram? Is that something going? Is there something going on behind closed doors? Is he trying to send a message? I have no idea. But I definitely think that he needs someone like a LeBron by his side, someone like a KD, or someone that's going to get him over the top, because he obviously can't do it by himself. That's for sure, and it's shown the last 2 years in the playoffs.
Correct. Absolutely. I'll tell you what, you was telling me about a video you saw with an amateur UFC female fighter at work.
Dude, did you get to see that video?
I actually did. I actually saw it. I think yesterday you had sent it to me and I saw it. And also, you guys, we're going to post that on our Facebook and YouTube pages so you can see the video also.
This female's name is Summer Tapasa.
Wow.
She was a security guard at Best Buy. Let me tell you one thing. This female was manhandling this man trying to steal something from Best Buy. I could not believe how she took control of this man like he was a little boy. She did so much that it caught the attention of Dana White. Dana White got a hold of this female so quick and offered her a job with the UFC. How crazy is that?
Wow, it was an amazing video. You could tell she almost reminded me of an offensive lineman. And I mean that with the greatest level of respect. And they all weren't female football players, as we all know. But the way she was just pushing him, you know how linemen get paid to basically push? She was just literally he could not get past her. It was like the greatest pass protection ever. She's strong, she's physical, beautiful, beautiful young woman, great personality also. Hopefully, she really gets an opportunity to do some grander things with her life because she deserves it. And again, she's doing all this at work. She's going above and beyond. She's not security. This is not really her job. But again, fighting for something. So great story, great video. Again, you guys, the video will be posted on our Facebook page and on the YouTube page. Check it out, reshare it. It's a great video, great story altogether. Speaking of UFC, Conor McGregor. Now, my probably two of my favorite fighters, Conor and Floyd, and it seemed like they're always in the news for something that's not the greatest thing. So recently, Conor found himself in a little bit of a domestic situation. Uh, he had been on a boat on a vacation. Him and his child mother, which is his fiance, girlfriend, I guess, and they've been together for quite a while now. So apparently, there was a attempted sexual assault while on the yacht. Again, we're not legal individuals, so I'm not sure what an attempted sexual assault means specifically. He says that it's vicious lies is what he gave a quote to the New York Post. He said, in quote, vicious lies. He is crushed by it, but will never kill himself, and he's going to keep pushing and moving forward. At this point, Connor's 32 years old, I believe. Yeah, he's 32 years old. He really has to find a way not to have himself in this type of situation. Really does. It seemed like it keep happening over and over. You had the situation with him at a bar where he allegedly flashed himself. There's been other assault and battery situations. Heck of a fighter. He's made so much money. And some of this may have been for marketing in the beginning of his career, but now it's getting to the point where will this be his legacy or will this put him in a position to truly affect his life long term and his family?
I follow this man on Instagram. He's with his family 24/7. I'm not saying what he did is true or it isn't. I have no idea, but he seems to be like a good family man. Always with his wife everywhere they go. Now, obviously, there's always rumors because the individual has money, so females try to do this, that, or the other. I have no idea, but what you said is true, man. He needs to. He just can't put himself in that situation. He can't put himself in that situation. If he didn't do it, power to him. If he did, well, he needs to definitely get his head together because he's not gonna leave a good impression on everybody else at the latter part of his career.
No, not at all. And now they're talking about his mental health and suicide intervention. I mean, this is just it's spiraling out of control, and I don't know. He made a ton of money in the Floyd fight, and
A
he's
lot of money.
yeah, and I don't know. Hopefully, he handles it better. Again, he has a young child, beautiful fiance. You know, really, the dream that most people dream of, he has at his hands. Hopefully, he doesn't lose it. Hopefully, they can all figure it out. And if he need help or they need help, hopefully they get it. There's nothing wrong with needing help in life. Some
Nope.
people need help in different areas, but the most important thing is just improving in life and progressing. So definitely wish the best for him. Would have liked to see a Conor/Floyd too. It was an entertaining fight. Just the media hype leading up to it was, I mean, it was a fight in itself. So
Yep.
absolutely, heck
Press
of a time.
conference. The press conferences alone,
Oh,
very
legendary,
entertaining. Very
legendary.
entertaining.
Hmm.
I don't think he's done though. I know he's retired, but I don't think he's done. He'll be back. He'll definitely be back. He's got too much fight in him to let go at this point.
I agree.
I think he might pull a George St. Pierre and leave for a couple of years and come back wanting to fight a couple more fights and then call it quits.
Yeah. So, football is finally back. College football is 2 weeks in. This
Yes,
weekend,
sir.
the opening of the NFL football season. Man, seemed like we might not get here. A lot of interesting games, a lot of big season, off-season moves leading into the season. Again, no preseason this year. So this is the first time seeing most of these guys, except for the teams that played Thursday night. It was a hell of a weekend. We got to see Brady down in Tampa against Drew Brees.
Didn't look too good, but okay.
Yeah, really didn't. At times, in spots, he looked well. I think they're going to be okay. I really do. I think they have a lot of talent. I think they're going to be okay as a long season. The Saints are not a slouch of a team, so it's not like they open against a weak team. They open against a Super Bowl contender.
Yeah.
So
That's probably one of the hardest teams to open up against because, I mean, the Saints have been really good lately. So for them to open up like that, and this is a team that doesn't have chemistry yet. Everyone's brand new, from the coach to the players to a couple of linemen they got, offensive linemen they got in front. So everybody's just still trying to gel.
Correct. And you take those 2 turnovers away that Brady made, the game is completely different.
True.
Completely different game. We got to see Cam in New England. He looked like we knew he would look. As long as he's healthy, he's going to be a threat running and passing the ball in that offense. There was rumors that broke today of them possibly trying to do a 3-team trade for Odell Beckham. If they can pull that off, that would definitely change it. You remember when Randy Moss went up there? So we know Cam can throw the ball deep when he's healthy. He can run. With Belichick really orchestrating that offense, that could really change things.
And Bill Belichick speaks real highly of Cam Newton, man. Every player that I've heard on that team right now speaks about how hard he works. He's the first one in the gym and the last one to leave. Always leading by example. I'm happy for Cam Newton, man. He deserves it. I mean, I know he had a little landslide and things went south in Carolina, but he has that chip on his shoulder right now. So I'm really hoping that it goes well for him. He looks healthy. He's running the ball. He had for a minute there at the end of the season with Carolina, he had stopped running. Well, yeah, he had pretty much stopped doing a lot of things towards the end. His injuries were really plaguing him.
But, you can tell they were piling up shoulder, the foot, the ankle. They were really piling up. Also, I think the frustration. I think he probably needed a fresh start.
He definitely did. And everything, all the coaches there in Carolina, for some reason, after that loss in the Super Bowl, everything got a little sour over there. But he's definitely looking good with New England. And I really think he's going to be in a running for the MVP. He's going to make a name for himself. So,
Michelangelo, Baltimore versus the Cleveland Browns. I think the Browns were exactly who we thought they were, in the words of Dennis Green.
For some reason, no matter how much talent they get over in Cleveland, they can't
Baker Mayfield
to put it together. They can get all the number 1 draft picks in the world. They just can't get it together over there.
I will say this: Baltimore looked amazing. They really did at the quarterback spot. Just amazing. I think they're going to be a threat again. Honestly, I do think we'll be seeing them in the playoffs. And it's going to be a heck of a season for them. There are so many other teams that really surprised us this week, opening up, that just was a lackluster performance. The Dallas Cowboys, regardless of people's opinion, they are America's team. They're the most talked about, good or bad, friend or foe. But I don't understand how this happened. I just don't. Not this one.
Dallas Cowboys are my team, man. They're my team. I'm biased, yes. Dallas Cowboys, I've always been a fan. But come on, guys. Really, you have to wait for the last play of the game to determine who's going to win. And then we're getting upset because of a pass interference call. Should never been in that situation to begin with. That 4th and 3, you had the opportunity to get that field goal and tie the game. But no. I don't know. I know they have a new head coach. There's some new pieces with them. CeeDee Lamb. I'm pretty sure he's going to be real good. But it looked the same. It looked like the offense looked the same, exactly the same. I really hope they change something up moving forward. But the offensive coordinator obviously is keeping everything the same for now.
As we were saying the other day, I cannot see giving Dak $40 million a year. I mean, this performance, and again, this is not it's not on him specifically. McCarthy or the OC made some very poor calls late in the game, I believe. I don't know. I guess we'll just really wait to see how this transpires this season with them.
In the last 14 games, Dallas is 5-9. 5-9. 5-9. Dak has thrown for 22 TDs and 9 interceptions in 14 games. I mean, you're fighting for a big contract here. You got to show these people you got something behind there.
It is.
They were at 33% on third down.
In a 20-17 game, you got to put up some more. You got to figure out how to put up more points. And again, I heard the talk, of course, from Cowboy fans about the NFL referees, the calling at the end of the game. That's going to happen. We saw the Saints against the Rams a few years ago. We see that all. It just happens. It's part of sports.
It could have gone either way.
Yeah, and whether it's deliberate, whether it is accidental, the call is going to be made. You've got to find a way not to put yourself in those positions. You got to. because it's part of sports, every sport.
Yeah.
Really have to. But definitely an exciting weekend of NFL football. Looking forward to this week moving forward. A lot of guys played very well in San Diego. Tyrod Taylor played extremely well. Joe Burrow in Cincinnati played well. The kicker missed a chip shot and faked an injury on the way to the sideline after that. But definitely a full weekend of football, an exciting weekend. And moving forward, I think we're going to see a lot from a lot of teams, really. The Steelers looked very good, looked really good against the Giants also on Monday night. I was really impressed with their performance. Big Ben looked like he's healthy and ready to roll.
He threw for 3 TDs. That looked pretty good, man, for his first day back.
Yeah, after surgery.
3 touchdowns.
229 yards. He was 21 of 32 and a win. Putting up 26 points. You really can't take much more than that. I will want to add, there's a video surfacing online of Juju Smith-Schuster coming out of a restaurant.
Yes.
There was a guy who is going through hard times. I'm not going to call the man homeless because he's temporarily going through hard times, as I like to say, outside. And Schuster did not know it. Someone was videotaping him. A woman from the corner is holding up a cell phone camera and videos him giving the guy some type of beverage drink and also a bag of food on the way to Juju going to the parking lot to get in his car. And he didn't film it himself. He didn't go online and post it. He didn't even see the person who was sitting outside videotaping him. And it says a lot. And of course, that's something small. It does. And I saw in comments somebody said, well, he makes millions of dollars. But again, he's not the only millionaire that probably walked out of that restaurant that day.
No, sir.
They're millionaires in every aspect of life. But he chose to take his time. It's not about money, but to take his time to order something for the guy and to give it to the guy. That says a lot about him. So, definitely hats off to Juju. And he had a hell of a game, too. 6 catches, 69 yards, 2 touchdowns. So,
he definitely balled out.
Yeah, really did. Really did.
On that same note, they lost James Conner that game. James Conner, he has an amazing story behind him as well. But, man, that boy, he can't stay healthy.
No.
He can't stay healthy.
Cannot. Really cannot. So we're really going to have to see what they're going to do with that, see how serious that injury is moving forward.
Along with the – hold on real quick. My bad. I didn't interrupt you. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. Not a problem at all.
The Saints, they lost one of their main receivers as well, Michael Thomas. They say he might be out 2 to 3 weeks. That's a key weapon for them. Key weapon.
It is. So, they're saying it's an ankle injury. He's going to miss several weeks. So they're going to have to really figure out how to get by without him because early in the season, you don't want to drop games. You want to get off on the right foot. Winning week 1 obviously helped, but you really want to get to the point where you're 4-0, 5-1, 7-2. You don't want to be 3-3, 3-5. You really don't want to go through that. So, not at all. So, in closing today, a little bit of entertainment news. The Kardashians, which everybody loves to discuss. So, they are finally ending. After 20 seasons, over 14 years, they've decided to actually not renew their contract with E! Apparently, there was an accident in excess of $200 million. That's what some sources have said. There's been no official word on that. We know back in 2017, they signed a new contract for $150 million for the family with E!
That's it?
Yeah. Just the film? Man, who somebody would compare us $150 million to film us right now?
Boy, wouldn't that be nice?
Founders, YouTubers.
Yeah.
DM us, yeah.
Hit us up. We're
Ryan
ready.
Seacrest, hit us up. We're ready to rock and roll.
We're ready.
So, that's amazing. This will be the 20th season. This season here that they just concluded filming, and that's truly amazing. Man, it's been a long time. Seemed like they hadn't been on TV that long. I think about when they started, how old I was then. Like, wow. They've
come a long way.
Their first episode was in 2007. Where were you in 2007?
Man.
Really, there are some talks that they're gonna probably go to maybe streaming, maybe cut a deal with Netflix. With the weakening economy, their ratings had also slipped, and E! just could not make the offer apparently what they wanted to. I tell you what, when you can turn down 80 million, 100 million, 120 million to get film, that tells you that you're in a different place in life from a business standpoint. But it's been a heck of a show, and I know a lot of people. Some people love them, some people can't stand them. But regardless, you know who they are.
Yep.
So
They're the ones that took this reality show to the next level.
they really did. They really did. You know, early on you had MTV with Road Rules, and there was another one of two, and then you had the such as the Flavor of Love and I Love New York. But as far as with reality TV and filming a family situation going through the all aspects of life, I have to think that they set the precedent. They did, and they branched it out into a lot of different various businesses and entities, and now even politics and different causes that Kim Kardashian is fighting for. And you have Bruce Jenner, who is now Caitlyn Jenner, who had spinoffs and really has been an outspoken individual for a lot of people here in society as a whole. So there's always good and bad with everything in life, and I try to focus on the good. And so I can see that a lot of good that their show has done for a lot of people, and of course, have done a lot of good for them in their pocketbooks. So
Definitely has. Definitely has. The fame they have is like no other. But yeah. Well, with that being said, guys, well, thank you very much for tuning into this episode of Keeping It Real with ER Sports. We sure hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us if you haven't done so already. Make sure to subscribe to show, just a little support. Subscribe to our YouTube channel or Facebook page. You can leave a comment or a thumbs up, whichever you like. We really appreciate y'all tuning in. Y'all take care. Until next time, this is Michelangelo, and
boom,
peace out, y'all.
peace. Hit the thumbs up. Love you.